Greetings to my team of 144, all Starseeds, Lightworkers, and Wayshowers. It is 515-2019 at 1244, May 15th. Hope you're having a beautiful and blessed day. I have a lot to cover today in limited time, so I'm going to try and get out everything that I'm hoping to, because my heart is expanding to the ends of the universe, and I'm trying to transmit as much love through this channel as I can in these most auspicious times. I just spent a couple hours with the Winged Nation. I got to hang out with my buddy, the Sandhill Crane. He was out in the water, chilling out. When I walked up, he came running out to greet me. It's not that I'm Dr. Doolittle or anything, it's just, it's the friendliest Sandhill Crane in the world. And I got to hang out with the messengers from the Sky Nation, the Eastern Bluebird, which is beautiful, blue-colored little angel, and some yellow warblers and many other creatures. Some baby mallards were chilling out, little angels of the light. And I wanted to thank all of you for sharing your love in the comments, your kindness, your experiences. And I just love the last video I put out on the New Earth children, about the crystal children and the Indigo children as wayshowers of this new earth. I just love the comments about people listening with their children. Thank you. I'm going to give a shout out to the Fifth World and to Misha for sharing. Really brings me a lot of joy to know that people are receiving these transmissions and the love energies, and that they're listening with their children, because I came to this realm for the children, to protect the children, to inspire, to uplift, and to teach, because the children are the new earth. They are the event, and we are one with the children. So Fifth World, give your son much love and a big hug from me. And Tamisha, give your daughter a big hug from Uncle Paulie, and let them know that they are loved. And everyone out there that's listening with their children, let them know how much they're loved and how much I love them, and how much they're cared for from our team, from our angelic and sky brothers and sisters. These children are angels on this earth. I've had many angels come to me over the year, especially through the children, through animals, and through the energies that come through Gaia, through nature, through the animal kingdom. We are all blessed to be here and to be experiencing this massive changes. And I want each and every one of you, if you can, to go within, because I came here for the innocence, for the children, and for all of you. If you can, go within yourself and see that child within, the little girl or the little boy that's within you, and send them love from me and from yourself and from your higher self, and give that child a hug from me, and tell them, let them know that they are loved more than they'll ever know. This love is beyond words, beyond concepts. and see and send that child joy. And you could say to yourself, I am enough, or I am worth it. It's like the Buddha when he awakened. He said, in the heavens and on the earth, I alone am the world-honored one. You are the world-honored one. The I that is here now, listening to these words, speaking these words, receiving the transmission and sending. There is no separation. That I that is listening now is the divine source. It is love, and it is honored by the world, and it honors the world with its presence and with this manifestation of life, of truth and love. So I'm grateful for each and every one of you that are going through this ascension with us, fully aware, fully conscious, and transmitting your love, light, and truth to this realm through your heart center. We're all connected. We are all one. The separation was part of the experiment. It was part of the programming. It's part of the illusion. When man speaks of the original sin, or about living in sin, what they originally meant was the sine wave, or time, the sine wave, the rise and fall of energy, the seemingly separation, the separation programming. But it is not reality. It is not truth. It is a manifestation of the one. It is duality. It is part of the false matrix, which we navigate through, bringing in our energies into this realm and transmitting our truth and light out into this realm as it reflects back to us. So we are like mirrors. We are that pure awareness that has been transformed to identify with the story, to identify with the separation, and then to identify with the fear. But a great man once said, a great being once said, that there is nothing to fear but fear itself. And I even say, we don't even fear fear itself. Fear is part of the programming. It's part of the separation programming. And fear has been part of the process, part of the learning process. And a great teacher to teach us compassion, kindness, and patience. And I'd like to thank you all for your patience too. I've been having some issues with technology. I think I've destroyed a couple mics. I'm using my phone right now, which does pretty decent sound quality. But I ordered one of those Yeti mics because I felt anything called Yeti's got to be good. You know, it's like the Bigfoot, the abominable snowman that is a legend of the Himalayan mountains over in Tibet and Nepal. So once I get the new mic, I'll be doing more energy transmissions, and hopefully I don't blow another mic or blow some speakers, but these energies coming in are very intense, and these transmissions will just keep getting more powerful as we go along. So I've always had a connection and loved the children of this earth. When my nephew, James, that passed several years ago, came into this realm, my sister gave birth to him she was about 15 years old. I was about 12. And he brought so much joy to my life. When I was a tortured soul, I would look into his eyes and see the joy and the love of Creator. And I would make him laugh and laugh until he turned blue in the face. Just hearing his little laugh. He would laugh until he was coughing, and it just brought so much joy. And just seeing him crawling around, I would carry him around on my shoulders and dance with him and sing and act like a buffoon until he would just keep on laughing and laughing, which would make me laugh and bring me great joy. And I've had many, many, many experiences with the children and their joy and bliss. It was like Barry Long said in his book, A Prayer for Life, that even if most life was destroyed or wiped out on this planet or in this realm, the children would still laugh and sing and dance, and the birds would still sing their songs, because life is eternal. Life is the source. Life is love and truth. And from that life we manifest the world that surrounds us, the world that's changing. Life itself doesn't change. It is the breath. It is the truth. It is a manifestation of life that's changing. As I think back on my life, of all the experiences I've had with bringing much joy to the children of this world, and the joy that they've brought myself and my team, it really expands my heart. Brings me great joy to know that the children are listening, the children are ascending. Although the children are already part of New Earth, they don't need to ascend. You know, these crystal children, the star children, the indigo children, whatever name you want to give to these awakened Buddhas, to these awakened deities, angels I call them. They are going to help the adults. They are going to be the way showers. A gentleman came into my shop the other day and was worried about his daughter, who was autistic, that she seemed to maybe be getting worse or having some issues, and I let him know about this ascension process, and he was very open to it, and it brought him peace when I told him that these children, especially the ones that we call challenged or disabled, will be the teachers of the new earth. They came here on mission. They know what their mission is. And they're waiting for the right moment, if they're not already teaching, if they're not already transmitting truth, which all children that are, you know, with the innocence are already connected purely to source, so they transmit truth with all they do. And as I go back and think of many connections I've had, one of them that came to my mind, because being with friends, that when they witness these things happening, I don't know if they think I'm crazy or, you know, just not of this realm. There was an instance I was with a female friend. I took her to the dentist, and as I was waiting in the waiting room for her to get the work done that she needed, this little girl that was being watched by her older sister, she was maybe 3 or 4, grabbed this book and just crawled into my lap and handed it to me for her to read. And I've never seen this child in my life, and wasn't introduced. She just felt the energy. I mean, I saw this angel, and it was bringing me joy just watching her, and we connected heart to heart. And she climbed in my lap, and I started reading the book and joking around, and she was laughing, and I was wearing a sweatshirt, and she grabbed the string that hangs to tighten it and started chewing on it. I pretty much let kids do anything, whatever they want, as long as they're not hurting other children or hurting themselves or potentially. I just always love to see what children do and how they act and perform when they're not being hindered by adults. And her sister was saying, stop doing this stuff. And I said, it's okay. I don't mind. whatever they want to do. And then the mother came out and was laughing that this little girl was just, I know some people will get freaked out because of all the weirdness of the world, but once people meet me or talk to me, they realize that I'm just here to transmit love. And so we talked, and we had some kind of connection. We had a mutual friend or something, which most people I connect with, there's some kind of synchronicity that happens or some kind of event that makes people connect with me on a deeper level. And then my friend came out from the thing, and she just laughed and shook her head because weird things like that are always happening around me. Then another story. I have thousands and thousands of stories, but I try not to bore people by going on and on. But a friend of mine, divine feminine counterpart of mine, were in a few months back. I told this story on another video, but just in case if you didn't hear it, it was a beautiful event. And it's just a synchronicity of what this transformation that's happening on this planet. But we were sitting having lunch, and on a table across from us was a mother and a couple of her children, and this little angel girl with these curly dark locks and big blue eyes kept looking over at me and smiling, and then I would wave and she would wave to me, and the mother just was saying, leave them alone or whatever. And I said, it's fine, just let your child be free. She's not bothering anyone. I connect mind to mind with certain beings, and I told her she was a little angel, and she looked into the sky and started laughing. And I said, yep, you know who you are. And I said, I know who you are. And she pointed at me and said, I know who you are. And the mother seemed like kind of annoyed or disturbed. And I thought, this woman has no idea who her child is, that she's amongst the angels right now. And then my friend that was with me smiled and waved to the girl, and she had this shell around her neck. It was some kind of, I don't know if it was a plastic shell or handmade or whatever, but she opened it up and pointed at us, and this bright blue color came out. It was like a light, a blue wave, and it emanated at us, and my friend, she hit her in the third eye, and such tears started coming out of her eyes, but it was tears of joy and bliss and purity and love, because her love for the children is as great as mine, and she works with children for a living, actually protecting them and being an advocate for children as a case manager. And it was just a powerful moment. Tears came to my eyes because of the beauty and what I was witnessing. And these events are happening more and more often, because the love has won, the light has won. Even though there's still darkness in the world, there's still suffering, we are at a critical point as the portals are fully open now, the rainbow waves are coming in. Try not to pay attention to the sordidness, to the dregs of society. You know, the Buddhist master would say, it's the mud, you know, think of if you have this pond and the deep, dark waters and the dark mud underneath, say that dark mud is the evil or the darkness or the suffering. But from that mud, from that darkness, rises up the stalk, and up into this light, into the sky, opens up the most beautiful lotus flower. And if it wasn't for that deep, dark mud, that lotus flower would not even be able to bloom. So it's that deep darkness, it's that the void, the unknown, that this beauty, you know, that's why Krishnamurti would say God is the great beauty and the great sordidness. Because without, you know, for us to experience that duality, or to experience the beauty, many times beyond or behind that beauty was great suffering. And the gurus will say it's the great suffering that brings you closer to God. So once you awaken, or are awakening and manifesting your pure awareness, you show gratitude to the suffering in our life. You know, the suffering is in the now. If you're suffering in this now, it's generally because the mind is holding on to something of the past. It could be in this lifetime, a past lifetime. So that's why we overcome the suffering with love. Loving yourself, loving the child within, and loving all of humanity, all beings, all life, all light. Because this is part of this transformation, part of this ascension. We don't need to focus on the negative, on the dark, on the bad things of the world. We recognize them, we release them, but we do not dwell on them, and we do not allow them to take hold of our consciousness, because we are manifesting the new earth. Anything that you experience of this suffering, or of the past, of the negative, of the darkness, that's remnants, that's what remains of the false 3D matrix. It's the residual of thousands of years of torture and suffering. But that is the foundation of the new earth. That's the mud that the flower, the lotus, is blooming out of, blossoming out of. And that lotus symbolizes enlightenment. And as each individual being becomes enlightened and looks at their own true source, at their higher self, we reconnect, we are reborn in truth, we are reborn in the light. We will manifest that enlightenment, which means becoming one, or transforming into the light, or returning to light, returning to love. And that's part of this ascension process. And Gaia, we can look at as the collective consciousness. We have our individual consciousness, and then we have the collective, which we are all part of. We contribute to the collective with our awareness, with our truth, as we uplift, as we help all of humanity through this transformation, through this transition. I know we still have a lot of work to do to help the collective, which is why I've been putting out these videos every day. That's part of my mission, and part of what I am doing to help all of humanity, or all that are willing to listen, all that are willing to be open to these concepts, be open to truth, be open to love. I know it's not easy, but it's worth it. And it's worth it to let go of the negative, let go of the past, not to dwell in the past, not to worry about the future, not to worry about what's to come, but live fully here now from the heart center, at the center of your chest, we call middle dantian. So I want to read more here. I spoke briefly about the solar activity that's increasing and the symptoms and effects. So this article is from Alex Miles from AscensionEnergies.com, because many people are feeling these energies from these solar storms, these waves that are coming from the sun, soul. So the solar storm is now very active. It takes a few days for the coronal mass ejection, up to 10 billion tons of plasma that is released with a solar flare to reach Earth as it is so dense and heavy, which is why it has taken until today for active geomagnetic storm status to be reached. And this article was put out yesterday. So yesterday, today, which is the 15th, many people are feeling these energies. However, the energy from a solar flare, which is bright and light and slightly different, only takes 8 minutes to reach our planet. So it's likely that those who are highly sensitive will have sensed the solar flares over the past week and are now feeling the full impact of the storm. Solar storms temporarily disturb the Earth's magnetosphere as solar winds and flares interact with Earth's electromagnetic field. We all have a personal electromagnetic field that surrounds us. Our aura and any electromagnetic energy that affects the Earth also affects our own energy field. Just as earthly weather can affect us emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically, so too can weather out in the universe, particularly when it hits our Earth. Over the past 24 hours, solar wind has been increasingly intense, and this incoming energy can impact everything that exists on this planet. One of the main things that those who are highly sensitive to energy will be noticing is a disturbance in their sleep patterns, as research has found that solar storms desynchronize our circadian rhythm, which is the internal biological clock that controls our sleep and wake times. This is because the electromagnetic activity from the geomagnetic storm is causing our pineal gland to produce an increase in melatonin, which disrupts our sleep routine. Solar flares are known to affect the Schumann resonance, Earth's heartbeat, which also affects our own inner beat. This is then believed to influence our brain activity and general balance, well-being, and sense of stability in the world. Flares are also believed to directly impact our nervous system, causing us to feel extra edgy, cautious, and generally as though we are existing on fight or flight mode. Therefore, we may be feeling extra fearful right now and generally thinking the worst in every situation we're involved in. We may even have noticed we are stressing over past mistakes or feeling terrified of what the future holds. And again, that's living from the past or living from the future instead of living from the now, which fear really is a future or past thing. If we're fully living present in the now, fear does not exist. That is that still point, what we call the 0 point, which is a still white magnetic light that's at the center of all things. So this is all due to our lower vibrations being pulled upwards by the new higher vibrational energy coming in from the solar storm, and it is all for our higher good and helps us make significant changes that moves us away from our past so that we move positively into the present and into the future. Old unprocessed emotions, stored cellular memories, and past open wounds will also be rising to the surface so that they can be acknowledged and healed, which when resolved will lift our vibration higher. This may cause us to reach out to those we are estranged from, or those we have misunderstandings with, or that we have not forgiven, or who we wish to ask for forgiveness from. We may also find we are argumentative and touchy with those around us, and we might feel as though everything external is highly turbulent right now, which this may be true, because our heightened sense of awareness is having a magnifying effect. This all sounds as though it's going to be an extremely traumatic few days. However, when we are aware of what's occurring and we pay attention to our thought patterns and how our body is feeling, we will realize we are totally in control and can navigate this storm with ease, just like we have done with every other one, whether consciously or subconsciously. Intense energetic periods are always deeply transformational and are huge opportunities for self-growth. Many of us will notice an internal shift occurring, and over the next few days we may not feel 100% ourselves, and possibly even notice out-of-body experiences. We may also be noticing an influx of synchronicities happening, which are just little signs and affirmations alerting us that all is well and we're heading along the right path. It may feel as though our heads are noisy and that even if we are entirely alone and in silence, it still seems as though everything is much too loud. Our ears may be ringing and our bodies might be feeling restless, making meditation and mindfulness suddenly feel too difficult, if not impossible at times. Every cell in our body will feel on high alert as we sense the incoming energy waves. Our aura, our personal electromagnetic field, will naturally pick up on the incoming high vibrations in the atmosphere, and we'll be working like crazy to attune to this new energy so that we can vibrate on the same frequency and return once again to peace and harmony. On a collective level, human consciousness is receiving an invitation from the universe to vibrate on a much higher frequency than the one we are currently vibrating on. For a shift in our personal lives as well as overall humanity, it is essential we place trust in divine universal energy and ride out the next few days of the solar storm with inner and external peacefulness, calmness, and faith. Although we will feel triggered to explode like the sun has, if we respond with compassion, kindness, understanding, and empathy, it enhances and uplifts our own as well as the collective energy of the entire Earth. Some common symptoms people experience during solar storms are it could be pressure headaches, feeling out of sorts or unbalanced, flushes, dizziness or nausea, exhaustion, ear ringing, difficulty focusing, confusion, foggy mind, forgetful, temporarily misplacing items, disturbed sleep patterns, anxiety, stress, irritability, and sadness, nervousness, worry, fear, overwhelm, heightened awareness, enhanced intuition, insights that seem to appear from nowhere, difficulty tracking time either feels too certain number patterns reappearing, premonitions, intense dreams or nightmares, struggles with communication, electronic devices messing up. The reason for much of the mention is that our personal vibration is on a frequency that is much lower than the vibration of the new energy coming from the sun, the universe. To help lift our vibration so that we resonate with the higher energy, we can drink plenty of filtered water, not tap water, or distilled. Oh, the angel just awoke from his slumber to give a transmission. Yes, angel. Yes, I love you too. Mm-hmm. Yes, angel. Tell them all about it. Yes, he is an angel of light. So drink plenty of water, take saltwater baths or Epsom salts. You could use lavender, chamomile, aromatherapy, stuff like that. Meditate and remain aware of recurring thoughts and feelings. Avoid caffeine and alcohol. Spend time in nature. Consume high vibrational foods such as fruits and vegetables. Remind yourself that everything in the universe is made up of energy and that conscious thought and intention can instantly alter how we think and feel. Breathe deeply. Forgive, release, surrender. Practice kindness, compassion, acceptance, and empathy. Where possible, temporarily disconnect from anything or anyone where the energy is toxic and draining. Solar storms offer us the opportunity to receive DNA activations, downloads, and upgrades that come to us from the bright light and energy emanating from the sun. This allows us to actively participate in manifesting what we want to achieve and receive in our lives, so it is essential that we focus with positive intention, especially when dealing with our past or the distant future. When our conscious awareness is high, we are able to tap into incoming, supercharged energy wavelengths and make sense of the information stored within it. When harnessed and utilized, the influx of energy can guide us in our life and ultimately lead us to reach our full potential and our higher purpose here on Earth. Yes? He had to give one more transmission before he meandered off with his catly strut. Okay, where was I? When our conscious awareness is high, we are able to tap into incoming supercharged energy wavelengths and make sense of the information stored within it. When harnessed and utilized, the influx of energy can guide us in our life and ultimately lead us to reach our full potential and our higher purpose here on Earth. Not only will we be noticing that our energy is recalibrating so that it resonates with universal energy, we will also be noticing this on a personal level as we discover exactly who and what we resonate strongly with in our daily lives. This will be a period of letting go, gaining closure, and also a time to form strong and meaningful bonds with what and who truly matters to us. Alrighty then, so thank you for joining me today. Also be aware, as these energies from the sun are intensifying, we're transitioning into the full moon this Saturday the 18th, which will be a full moon in Scorpio, which has to deal with the lower Dantian and the root chakra, the color red. Okay, one more. Yes? I guess he wasn't done yet. He who speaks knows truth, but from the silence emanates the sound. Okie dokes. So I wanted to thank, I just lost my train of thought. He wiped my memories there for a minute. Little deity. I guess he didn't want me to ramble on. So thank you all for joining me today. Leave a comment below this video about what you're feeling, experiencing. Thank you all for your connections. Thank you everyone that has joined our team on the CBD team. You can find that for the CBD business to help raise funds for the Ecuador Healing Retreat Center. So you can go to cbdpeaceoil.com and sign up under one of our team and start promoting the business, promoting the products. The link will be in the description below. Thank you everyone for joining us on our website, primedisclosure.com. There's a live chat on there 24 hours a day where Lightworkers and Starseeds can connect with each other. And I apologize, I don't have time to go on there. My time is very limited. I've been working many, many hours, 24/7. When I'm not working, I'm doing my practices, my art, I'm teaching, I'm working a business, doing my meditative practices, playing guitar daily, doing things that I enjoy when I have these little moments of free time. So I've been trying to keep up with all the comments, the emails, the messages. To tell you the truth, I'm just a horrible typer too. I can't type on the phones. They just drive me nuts with these little digits that it's tough enough. I know some people say talk into it, but I don't really. That's a pain in the neck too, but I try to keep up and doing my best here, and I want to thank you all. You can keep connecting with me, and I'll try to get back with you if there's something really important. And you can send me an email at habanerosun@yahoo.com. So I hope to be doing some teaching. I can't teach the Negungs through social media or the internet, but I can maybe start teaching some Qigong. I'll start with my team and then post some of those teachings to this channel. And thank you again. I'm grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you for listening, and thank you for sharing your love, light, and joy to help uplift all of humanity in the collective as we ride these waves of energy through this ascension process. Okay, deity wants his hugs and kisses now. So I bid you adieu, Godspeed, beloved beings of light. I love you all. Namaste.